So one thing that I've found with people with pectus is you can make the claim that we are weaker naturally, and to me there's three main reasons why this is the case. The first reason specifically for being weak in the chest is due to less surface area of chest muscle. Now, to be honest, this is only really applicable in a small minority of pectus cases in which it's severe enough and the pectus is shaped in a way where it's really widespread, and therefore you don't have as much surface area of chest muscle mass because your pectus is more widespread, so your chest might only insert like here rather than in here, okay? Now, as I said, this is a small minority of cases. Most cases of pectus are quite centralized, like mine, with mine's like a 5 centimeter width, and just a couple centimeters down, which is actually a normal chest shape. Chests without pectus don't just insert straight in the middle, especially down in this lower part, okay? If you look at the chest shape, it's just the way the sternum is. It's the structure of the chest and the way it's shaped. So this is only applicable for those with the more severe case, but the argument could be said that there is less chest muscle that they have due to the pectus being wider and thus making it weaker. But that being said, it is pretty interesting what I've noted, and what my training's focused on is developing the inner chest muscle fibers. And so what I've seen time and time again with my clients who sign up to my program is there is no muscle development there, but it's not because they don't have muscle, it's because they haven't developed that muscle. And so for a lot of people, they think they don't have that much chest muscle, but actually they just haven't trained it properly. They haven't developed the muscle to come into their inner chest and actually engage their inner chest muscle fibers. Like for me, I didn't have the muscle popping around my indent at the start. I didn't have the chest strength at the start, but I trained it and I developed that. For most people, they have not developed their chest to its full extent, where it then is meeting in the origin right around the sternum. And when you do that, obviously you're going to have more muscle, you're going to be stronger. The next reason is pectus is correlated with a lot of things: scoliosis, kyphosis, and also Marfan syndrome. And so with Marfan syndrome, one of the symptoms of it is long limbs, long gangly limbs. Like I have a 2-meter arm span, I'm like 1.85 meters tall, And so what long limbs do is they make being strong very hard on movements like a press, like a bench press or a squat, because you've got a bigger range of motion. You've got further to press the bar, you've got deeper to squat and come back up. And so when people have long limbs, typically these movements are hard. But again, it's nothing you can't train. There's different ways to do different movements to optimally do them for your mechanics. For most people with pectus, a high bar back squat with an upright torso is going to be very hard to achieve. So a low bar back squat in more of a hinged position is more optimal if you want to be optimally strong. Same as with the bench, you really want to utilize that arch, pushing the chest out, digging the shoulder blades in and getting an arch like that powerlifting bench style if you want to get stronger, if that's your goal on the bench press. And then lastly, the final reason that I see with people with pectus being weak is the fact that if you have pectus, typically that also means you have low self-confidence, low self-esteem, body image issues, and thus you probably didn't put yourself into sports. You didn't get into fitness. You weren't taking off your shirt, running around with other kids because you felt uncomfortable to do so. And so as a result, you haven't had the exposure to as many activities, to training. You probably didn't jump into fitness as a younger person. And so thus, you haven't trained and you've been more introverted. And so you haven't had as much exposure to building muscle, to fitness, and therefore you're weaker. So how we overcome all of these things is we work on it. We start training, we start following a proper program. And don't let ourselves just be trapped in this bubble, because that's horrible. That's not a way to live a life. We want to be confident in our bodies, confident in ourselves. We want to be strong physically and mentally, okay? And so that's why I make these videos. I want to help all of you overcome your pectus, overcome this victim mindset, and become strong individuals and confident individuals in your body and yourselves. So don't worry about these 3 reasons why you may be weaker than the average person, because it's you versus you, and it's all about you getting better and becoming the best version of yourself. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next one.